right. Hello and welcome back, everyone, to day two. Today is very interesting because we're streaming on multiple platforms. Today will be the last day that we're going to stream on social media. However, if you are joining me in our private Facebook group community for the Personal Brand Live Launch, hello and welcome. This is our first time streaming on our private Facebook group. So please give me some love, give us some energy on the chat so I can know that you guys are here, you're healing me. Just hashtag, just comment live so I know that you're alive with me and listening and tuned in to day two of this incredible series that we're having. Obviously, we have a lot to cover. Yesterday was really amazing. So let's dive right in because, again, we have a lot of content to cover, okay? So obviously for day two, as we circle back and have this conversation on day two of the program, how was yesterday? Right? Welcome back. Right? We have 5 days of powerful conversations. We're going to workshop through a lot. As a reminder, hopefully you guys printed your workbooks and you're using them during this program because there's a lot of notes to take. If you did not register to get your workbook, please look at the comments. We're going to share the link again for you to register, just your name and email, and we'll be able to email you the full 20-page workbook to be able to follow along this entire week series, to be able to actually execute on what we're discussing for this week. So please, if you have not gotten access to your workbook, just comment workbook on the comments so we can make sure we DM you the link to be able to have access to this important part of the program today. All right. So without further ado, I do want to dive right into today's conversation because, again, we have a lot to cover. And I know yesterday when we really engaged, prior to kicking off the program, I shared with you that at the end of today's session, I will share with you the opportunity to join me live for a multi-week live coaching and training program where I'm going to help you launch your brand live for 2024. Like, can you imagine? I'm going to help you host a live virtual event to launch your brand and start generating revenue on the spot. It's going to really rock your world. So today, doors will open only for people who are part of this Personal Brand Life Launch series. So stay tuned. At the end of the program, I'll give you more information. You're going to get first access to it before I open up the opportunity for registrations to the public at the end of the week. So stay tuned. More of that later. I want to dive into the content. So yesterday, when we kicked off, we started off really by talking about value positioning and how to attract the right audience, such as clients, partners, and opportunities, and how to really get these people on board to really want to work with you, get you speaking engagements, get you partnership engagements, be able to launch your products, your brands, all of the above. And we talked about the fact that if you look at the personal brand, hierarchy of needs, like what you need to do to really position yourself for success, both within your career and within your life. We talked about how every single person on the planet, even if you're an infant, you are embodied with experience, right? And obviously, we immediately always think about work experience because, our first jobs, the work that we do, because we're really defined, unfortunately, as a society by the work that we do, the work that brings us the bread and the paper. But I want you to expand your knowledge that we're beyond our work experience. We also have lived experiences that people could tap into and to learn from you from. So that's stuff like, going to college for the first time, getting married, having children. I mean, you see so many people building their brands online just purely by their lived experiences and not just their work experiences. So I want to make sure that was clear that every single person, we at the fundamental level have base foundation of experience, which is how we're able to express the multitude of things that we did in our everyday lives. Okay. Now, with that said, once we are able to understand that, very few people, yes, are able to actually expand and go beyond experience to being an expert in their field. And you are an expert, not because you have awards, not just because you have certificates and accolades, because a lot of times we get very superficial and think that the only validation marker to prove that we are an expert is having someone justify that we are an expert, right? And yes, that is very important. Being on Forbes list, being in the media, being in outlets, it does add to your credibility. But the truest form to know that you are an expert is the reputation that you hold, where people constantly come to you and ask you questions, information, insight. Can I pick your brain on XYZ, right? You ever heard that line, right? That is a reputation that you built. That's where people want to tap into your talent and your repeated method of processing execution through what you've learned over time through your learned experiences. That is when you become an expert. And a lot of people stop at this baseline. Now, if you want to take your life and your career to the next level and have a personal brand that attracts limitless opportunities, here's where a lot of people get stuck. A lot of people have experience. Some people are able to get to the expert phase where people tap into them for their expertise. But a lot of people are not able to get to the next level, which is becoming an authority. At this point, people are now trying to step into your zone of genius. They feel it. When they engage with you, they know you know what you're doing. They know that you're an expert. They know that you're not just any expert. You are the expert. You are literally, for layman's terms, you have the ish. When it comes to this topic, you are the go-to person that they want to talk to you. And keep in mind, a lot of people are authorities, but don't know that they're authorities on the subject, right? And so at this point, for you to be able to start to monetize your authority and monetize your expertise is when you start to create a positioning statement where you have a value proposition where people can identify you and you're giving that value to others so people could be able to engage, and you convert these people into a community that truly embodies the work that you do and want to work with you. So with that said, when you're able to create that value positioning statement to attract the right audience, such as clients, again, partners, and opportunities, how do we let people know this? How do we show this? And the first place that people usually create a digital presence on the internet is not their website, is not their emails, is not a platform. It is usually a social media page. Why? Because it's free and it's networked. There's already a built-in audience, and the most immediate audience that you could tap into is your immediate circle. Okay, so there's already a built-in audience of people who's waiting for you to engage them. So the first step is really not just creating a website, not creating all the bells and whistles. I see so many people spend thousands of dollars getting photo shoots, getting the website done, getting all the bells and whistles to look good on the digital internet, but not really provide the goods, which is value, right? And really starting at the fundamental level. And I want to make sure that you don't do that before you do this first step. So the first step is really optimizing your social media pages. Now, some people don't know where to really begin when it comes to what's the most important thing to prioritize when it comes to optimizing your social media process. And I will help you make that decision throughout this session, where I'm going to show you how you're going to show up for clients and what social media pages should take a backseat. Because sometimes I've also find out that people have, really burn themselves out, stretching themselves thin, trying to be present on multiple platforms. You do not need to overwork yourself and manage 5 multimedia social media pages. You don't need to do that. You will experience burnout very quickly, especially if you don't even have a full-time team to do this. We have full-time people completely dedicated to one social media channel. So do not stretch yourself thin. And again, you want to be working on the things that give you 80% of the results with the less amount of time. So I'm going to help you do this in a sustainable way so you prioritize what works. And the strategy to do this is very, very simple. Okay. So right now I need you to dive into your workbook. Okay. And we're going to go to the first page where we're going to talk about LinkedIn and optimization. Okay. Now, again, yesterday we talked about writing your value positioning statement, because this is going to be the starting point to kick off optimizing your social media pages for sure. Okay, so now today, as we dive into how to optimize your social media profile, we're going to walk through which social media pages matter, which ones you need to optimize, and how to actually optimize them, and the simple content calendar that you need to create to be able to build credibility very quickly and easily on the internet. Okay, so first and foremost, it starts with a decision. And I know many of you might be saying, okay, I have multiple social media pages. Where do I even begin? How do I even start? I'm going to help you with that. Okay. Slow down. On average, multiple people usually have at least 5 to 7 different social media accounts. You're not going to, wear yourself thin and go on every single website to be able to optimize. you're going to pick two platforms. One is going to be your main platform that you focus and really cultivate your energy and your time and your commitment to your audience. And the second one will be backup, and everything else will be just pure redistribution. And I'm going to use myself as an example to explain how that looks like. So for me, my main platform is obviously LinkedIn. Okay. On LinkedIn is where I constantly engage. I host live events. I network. I DM. I really cultivate a community on LinkedIn. And that's the world's, still to this day, the largest professional network. Okay. My second and backup community page where I manage on a regular basis is my Facebook. Okay. And combined through these two different platforms, I have close to 55,000 followers and counting that I engage on a regular basis. This is the two profiles that I care about. Everything else is really a redistribution. Okay. So sometimes I post on Instagram, sometimes I post on Twitter. On a weekly basis, I do post on YouTube because I recognize video is really king in today's day and age. So I do optimize on YouTube. 2024 was a strategy where I added, and I do believe that every year from going forward or every 6 months, I'll add a new page. I prioritize a little bit more in the redistribution efforts. But again, my main stake and dinner is LinkedIn and my backup is Facebook. Hopefully you are following on that statement. Okay. So with that said, your social media strategy, which is very, very important that you understand that, is to simply attract the right people, engage them, and convert them away from your social media pages. Granted, you want people to follow you and engage with you and subscribe to your pages, but really, ultimately, you want to get them off social media and into your email list, because many of you, if you're not aware of this by this day and age, you do not own your social media pages, okay? Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, all they own your social media page. So if they change the algorithm, if you get hacked, if anything happens, all of that will shut down your business. It will shut down everything that you hold dear as if overnight. And I've had this happen to me before. I have to start over plenty of times before. I've had this happen to many clients that I've worked with in the past. I always tell people, never depend on one platform. Always try to navigate and manage two. And the goal is to try to optimize people to bring them to your email list. Okay? Apologies. So for me, like I said, my main page is LinkedIn. My backup is Facebook, and everything is distribution. And with that said, now in terms of which platform you should select, I get this question all the time. Okay, I have multiple pages. Which one should I start with? I will start with the one that's easiest for you, because the one that's easiest for you is the one that you will show up the most in, right? Because you want to cultivate that community. However, out of the two that you do prioritize, I highly, highly, highly recommend LinkedIn. I don't get any commissions from blowing up LinkedIn, but I gotta tell you, LinkedIn is the best platform you could use for several reasons. One being that you are able to access multiple level of, I would call them avatars, but personas of people that you could tap into as clients. You could tap into the B2C, which is direct to consumer, everyday people who could be able to work with you, partner with you, buy your programs, just on an extended level. B2C, LinkedIn is great. And a lot of all the social media platforms are B2C, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You're dealing with, your clients and your consumer base and your community base directly. That's B2C. What I like about LinkedIn, you're able to also tap into businesses and corporates, so B2B clients. So if you want to do institutional work, I get a lot of paid speaking engagements through LinkedIn. I get a lot of paid contracts through LinkedIn. And B2G, I work with a lot of governments who are official also on LinkedIn as well. So LinkedIn has done a lot for me. It's literally by far my favorite platform. I always talk about the power of one page, which is on this internet, which is LinkedIn. LinkedIn have given me speaking engagements, clients, media features, book deals, awards, partners, venture opportunities. It helped me launch multiple businesses. It helped me reach new audiences. I mean, LinkedIn, even before I crossed 1,000 followers, was doing the work for me to be able to engage and also experiment with my content, meet new people, really see what works. And one thing that I will say, if you do tune into LinkedIn, don't take the mindset of, and this is with any platform really, don't take the mindset of a producer. Be a consumer. Okay. Be a producer, not a consumer, right? Don't just consume the content, just read the industry trends. Take the mindset of being a producer, not a consumer. Take the mindset of being a creator and not a viewer. Take the mindset of being an influencer and not a follower. Your goal is to leverage this free asset that you have on the internet. It's like your billboard. It's like a free marketing billboard, a free marketing commercial that runs on the internet 24/7. I bet you didn't think of LinkedIn or social media like this, but that's really what it is. You have a 24/7 hour billboard for free. It's like, for example, it's like someone gave you a billboard and put it on one of the street corners and say, okay, any passing traffic, you're free to go. And we don't think of social media like this when you're thinking of it from a business mindset, because we think about all the work we have to do on LinkedIn. Oh my God, I got to post, I got to engage. Don't do that. Really look at this as a really gifted opportunity for you to be able to find and engage your audience for free. And I don't know if it gets any better than that, right? And soon, I don't know, 10 years from now, I don't even think a lot of these platforms will be free anymore, to be honest with you, right? So definitely leverage the platform and leverage, social media to be able to grow for free. So with that said, what does a social media page give you in the end? It gives you SEO visibility, right? Keep in mind, platforms like LinkedIn and YouTube are search engines, right? People search for, have a problem and they search for solutions on these search engine platforms, right? They're also good for targeting the right people because of the customization of LinkedIn. You could target people in certain locations, in certain fields. It's amazing, and don't even have to pay for it, by the way, right? It's really great for lead generation. It's great for market testing. It's great to track your competitors. I'm able to see all the things that my competitors are doing in the industry. And to compound on that, I'm able to see trends, what's happening in the market, what is affecting my community, and how can I serve them better by hearing what they're complaining about on social media so I can support them. I'm able to host live virtual events for free, right? Like this one, obviously our team, this is actually a multi-day production. So we actually have a cost to hosting what we're doing. But when I first got started on LinkedIn, I was hosting events for free live, and it was great. It's great for community management, and it's absolutely like just crazy amazing on authority building, right? It really helps you build that credibility. And so with that said, now that you understand all the different parameters that you could get out of LinkedIn, I want to share with you now how to actually optimize your LinkedIn profile and how to really take it to the next level for your brand, because that's what we're here for. We're here to optimize our social media profiles so that way we could be able to eventually monetize our brands, build a legacy, build a footprint, grow our audience, meet people around the world, and live our best lives, right? So today I'm going to focus on helping you optimize your LinkedIn profile. So the goal is to turn your free LinkedIn profile into an optimized converting landing page for opportunities, whether that be speaking engagements, clients, paid partnerships, brand deals. All of the above could be coming your way just by leveraging these next 10 steps I'm going to share with you right now. Okay. So again, let's go into our workbooks, and we're going to go right in. It's on the next page, session 2, for you to be able to find the LinkedIn page. Okay. So with that said, here are the 10 things that you need to do to optimize your profile. I'm not going to drag it out. I'm going to just come at you hot fire and share with you exactly the 10 things that you need to do. And for some of you, it could take you as little as 30 minutes to do this. For others, it might take you 2 hours. It depends on how much work you need to do. It depends on how much dedication you take to actually doing it and not being distracted with anything else. But let's start with the headshot photo. Here, you need to have a photo of you looking at the audience with a smile. I've seen people's LinkedIn photos look really crazy where they're looking to the side, they're looking to the back, they're looking up, they're not smiling. Smile, because we are human beings, and psychologically speaking, a smile is more inviting for someone to want to work with you based on your photo than someone just smizing. I've seen people have a smize, and I don't want to make fun because I used to have a really great, powerful headshot photo of me smizing. It was kind of like my speaker booking photo, but I realized that I wasn't getting as many leads with that because I came off very intimidating, right? Powerful, but intimidating. And so I changed it to my smile. I have a big smile. So I leverage it to my advantage, and I use it as my headshot photo. Never regret it. Definitely recommend that you do this, okay? So with that said, number 2 is position your headline. Yesterday, we already talked about creating a value proposition statement. Gone are the days where you're going to introduce yourself as the CEO of XYZ. That is boring. That is dead. That does not work anymore. You're going to 3 titles that describe the value of content that you provide for people and your value proposition. We'll talk about this a little bit later on, but very important that your headline title speaks to the audience that you serve, because during SEO, when people are searching for solutions, your name will come right up to the top. Quick hack. Number 3, you're going to put your value statement again in your title and your description to increase SEO. I'll talk about how to maximize your bio section to be able to do that. This is something that's really crazy. Number 4, a lot of people don't customize your URL. If your LinkedIn page is linkedin.com/a bunch of numbers, stop it. You need to use your first and last name. If your first and last name is taken, maybe your first and last name, HQ, home, whatever you want to do, but make sure that it's easy for you to be able to share your LinkedIn URL by customizing it. And it's free to customize, by the way. Okay. The 5th thing is you want to list out all the topics and qualifications that you have in your bio section. We'll talk about this later on. The next 5 things are ways to be able to increase your visibility like crazy on LinkedIn in a way that gets you not only noticed, but gets you converting clients. And this is something that I do on a regular basis, and it helps me tremendously. 1, add public speaking as a business option on your profile. So I actually put it as a work experience. I don't just lump it into my summary. I don't just lump it into my title. If you want to get paid speaking engagements, create a company page for your brand and put public speaking as one of the services that you offer in your personal brand. Done. You see that? I just gave you something that I know a lot of you didn't even think of, and I'll show you how to optimize that section on your profile to convert as many leads as possible for free. Please do. Number 6 is a powerful, powerful step. Number 7, add photos and videos of you speaking to your profile position. If you want to get paid for speaking engagements, if you want to get brand deals, people need to see to believe, right? A lot of people know that I host programs like this on a regular basis, and I have multiple clients who pay for my courses, pay for my programs, pay for my coaching, right? But seeing is believing. For me to get new audiences to know the work that I'm doing, I host sessions like this so they can see me, see my swag, see my comfort, see my ease of delivering value for them to work with me. You need to do the same. So seeing is believing. Get those photos out there, even if it's 1 or 2, 3 photos, and you change and update them every year, every 6 months, you will see that it will work wonders for your profile to get you more visibility. All right. Now, this is made for those who want to be paid public speakers and you want to get in the speaker circuit. I will also add your Speaker One pager. If you want more information on how to really build your speaker profile, check the link in the comments. I'll share access to my Speaker Booking Accelerator program for you to find out more. But essentially, it's a 1 pager for you to showcase all the topics that you speak on and how available you are for bookings. So people to be able to see your profile and be able to engage you and DM you really to negotiate a contract to pay you to speak. Okay. 9th, you got to add your website or landing page. There has to be a call to action. I'm surprised a lot of people don't do this, but you have to have a link. Again, the goal is to not just keep people on social media, but get them into your email list. So you have to have something that converts people off of social media, off of your links page to become an email subscriber. So that way you could be able to have them as clients going forward and also continuously add value to them on a continuous basis. And the last thing is leverage your banner. I see so many people don't put anything on their banner, or they put like a basic quote. That is dead. Putting quotes and just photos in your banner is no longer the option. You need to promote and leverage your banner as a call to action to crystallize your position as an authority. And I'll share with you how I've done that so you could do the same. Okay. So I love to tell people how to do things. I also love to show people how to do this. Now, for those of you who are streaming live on Facebook in the group, you probably are not able to see my slides, but I will try to be as visual as possible so you can understand what I'm about to share with you, okay? So first and foremost, I want to share with you how to optimize in action, okay? So I first will start your title, your value proposition. If you look at the title of my LinkedIn, if you go on my LinkedIn page, you will see that I have my tag phrase terminologies: global motivational speaker, I'm a serial entrepreneur, I'm a tech ecosystem leader, personal branding expert, corporate training, right? Because I want on SEO, if people are searching for these, titles or these solutions, I come up on the search feed, right? Obviously, I also showcase I've been featured in media outlets, so it helps. If you notice, I don't put my organizational position of being the CEO of XYZ, because they can find that in my LinkedIn page, right? Again, that age is dead. You want to get straight to the point and serve your value as quickly as possible. If you look at my cover page on LinkedIn as well, I've leveraged it to also reiterate my value. I put that I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a global speaker, I'm a tech ecosystem leader. And I talk about, and I put all the subjects that I talk about in my website is also there. Again, leveraging my banner to convert people as my audience. And then finally, if you look at my call to action, because I'm a global speaker, I use LinkedIn to convert into speaking engagements for myself, right? So my call to action, if you see there right under my profile title, is book me to speak, and it's a link for people to be able to find my website, my speaking catalog, for them to be able to book me to speak at their next event. Very simple. This is how I optimize my banner and the top part of my LinkedIn, but across all my social media platforms, this is what I do. The second area that I optimize is my bio section. Not only do I put a full-length bio, I also have a call to action with my email. Now, I don't know who told you this, but a lot of people, for some reason, they don't make it easy for people to be able to email them. I have my email front and center. Speaker Bookings email team, hello@christineandtim.com, because I don't want to make it hard for someone to DM me, find my email, reach out to someone. I make it very easy for people to engage with me very easily. And when I'm hosting campaigns, we even have our phone numbers and hotline numbers, so that way our team could be able to engage with clients and partners very, very quickly. So I make it very, very clear for people to engage with me. In my bio section, I use this real estate to not just put my bio, but also the call to action and also my contact information, okay? The next thing that I also optimize is my activity. I make sure that every time I'm hosting live events, it's very, very clear that people can see that I host webinars on a weekly basis. I always schedule them out. So if someone comes to my page and let's say they see that I'm hosting a live event 4 weeks from today, and they notice that, wow, like she is really a thought leader on this topic, they are able to also make decisions based on events that I haven't even hosted yet. I'll tell you a short story. This actually happened to me before, where I literally had my paid speaker career launch program pre-scheduled and showing up live on my LinkedIn. This was 3 weeks prior. And I got a paid client, a contract to speak at a private business function for 10 grand, literally just because of that. Now it was like 9,000 and change to be exact when you think about all the contract details and everything. But to think that just because they came on my LinkedIn profile, saw that I was hosting a speaker career training program, and they invited me to be able to coach their employees on how to get paid speaking engagements as well, was really, really amazing for me to be able to do that. So I was really excited to see that. So now I actually don't just host my sessions live, but I showcase any event that's happening in the future on my LinkedIn page, so people could be able to see that and be able to engage with me, even based on programs I'm doing in the future. A second thing I want to say is many people also know that I own multiple brands. I have hosted and launched multiple companies and multiple initiatives over the past 10 years. And one of those major initiatives is Haiti Tech Summit. So a lot of people know me for Haiti Tech Summit. And one partner reached out to partner and sponsor Haiti Tech Summit based on a live virtual stakeholder meeting that I was hosting over the past summer, right? Again, it works. When people are able to see your activities, even the activities that you haven't done yet, it's all about being disciplined and being planned. I always tell my clients, schedule out at least 3 events into the future, whether it's a week from now, a month from now, a summer from now, right? That people can see, okay, if they want to work with you, even podcasts, places say, hey, I'll invite you to speak on my podcast if you, interview me at your next event, because I see that you have an audience waiting to engage with you for that, right? So many crazy opportunities for doing that. So I want to share with you that quick tidbit to do that. And obviously I have my newsletters that I host monthly so people can engage with that. And I have images. I'm always showcasing images and videos for every activity that I do, because seeing is believing. And then the next optimization that I highly suggest you do is create a company page for your brand. Now, my brand is actually incorporated, so it's Christine and Tim & Co. in terms of what I do. But even before I incorporated my brand, I created a formal page for my brand, and I showcase, all the different products that I serve. So I have a personal brand. I have 3 signature digital products that I host on an annual basis to serve my community. One is a personal brand career accelerator program, which I'm going to be hosting at the end of this series. One is a paid speaker career accelerator program to help people get paid speaking engagements on autopilot. And a third one is a digital CEO boss academy program, which I help people run digital businesses online. These 3 signature programs are also under my, brand messaging, and my speaker booking page is also there as well. So I'm showing not only traction in the work that I do, but if someone wants to work with me in any shape or form based only purely through my personal brand and not all my other entities, they're able to see which ones they want to tap into. And again, I also embed here our direct contact information, which is hello@ChristinaandTim.com, so people could be able to engage with me immediately and easily. Okay. And at the end of the day, optimization, obviously I'll show you the top 10 things that you could do to optimize your LinkedIn, but optimization also takes it to the next level where you're able to create a content schedule to be able to engage people, showcase what you're doing. I have photos, media releases, press releases on the work that I'm doing, so people could be able to track and see in real time the work that I'm doing on a regular basis, okay? And I know people are gonna ask, what tools do I use to do all this? I'm very simple in the work that I do. I use Google Docs to plan out, my campaigns. I do about 4 major campaigns a year, 12 monthly newsletters, and I'll share with you what I do on a weekly basis and daily basis to really convert my audiences at scale. But the point is, all of that is written on a simple Google Doc. Okay. The second tool that I use, I love this. I've been using this before it was even popular, right? By the way, I am an early adopter. A lot of the digital tools that people are using today, I was on these before they were even mainstream. And Canva, I've been using Canva for years. Okay. So I use Canva for all my flyers and promotional branding, to be able to look good, feel good, and come up with, the concepts that I know will help and serve my audience. It is great to be able to use Canva to be able to create workbooks for my community, to create resources and templates for my community. I mean, obviously people think of it only purely from a promotional standpoint to market and promote events like this one, to market and promote training programs. But for me, it goes beyond promotional branding. I'm able to actually serve my clients with Canva in a way that's aesthetically pleasing for them and something that they love to enjoy to use. Like even the workbook that I use for this series, if you look at it, it's pretty slick, right? Canva is what I used to do this, and it didn't take me long to create this workbook for this program. So highly suggest that you use Canva. It works wonders, okay? I also use StreamYard to do my live hosting. Now, prior to using StreamYard, I used to go streaming on each platform directly, right? But now I leverage StreamYard to be able to host and go live on multiple events. Now my hair is bugging me right now, so I'm probably gonna adjust it. Sorry guys, right? So StreamYard is really, really great for that. Now I know people use a lot of different streaming services, but to be honest with you, StreamYard is really good for branding, right? It's really good to play videos, to be able to, engage with your audience. Zoom and all that is great, but you're not able to brand it really well. So I highly, highly suggest that you use StreamYard to be able to go on multiple platforms in a way that really cultivates your brand. And the last thing that I use, because again, it's all about creating the email list and cultivating your community, providing value, and you need a CRM to be able to track that. And I use ConvertKit. I've progressed and also use Kajabi, but Kajabi is very expensive for a lot of people. So I always suggest you use ConvertKit because it's a great way to start for free and be able to ramp up and launch your digital business as a personal brand that strengthens over time, okay? So with that said, like I said, now that we've optimized, we have optimized our social media page, starting with LinkedIn. Let's talk about content, because I know a lot of people get really scared about content. And I told you guys I'm gonna be hot fire with you today. I'm going to be sharing a lot. We got a lot to cover today, so I'm going to keep going down the thread. Give me a shout out live if you're with me, if you're listening, if you have questions. Give me a shout out live. So I know that you're here with me and ready for the next step, because I'm going to share with you how to create content on a consistent basis to really take not only your optimization of your LinkedIn profile, your social media profiles to the next level, but also be able to attract audiences that can become paid clients for you on repeat. So give me some energy on the chats, on the comments. Tell me live that you're here and you're good to go, because we are going to the second phase of today. We're talking about content and how to create that. Okay. Now, I will tell you that the starting point for content is not random content. Okay. I've seen people, let me tell you what's not working right now. Okay. And I can say this from experience because I have literally witnessed my social media pages just go downhill. When I had hired a personal assistant, a virtual assistant at the time. Now I have full-time personal assistants, but at the time I had a virtual assistant manage my social media pages, and they were simply doing three things that just do not work, and it killed all my social media pages. I had to re-engage my profiles in a completely different way to bring my community back to the forefront. One, the quotes do not work anymore. Okay. I know in the past people used to put inspirational quotes to get people excited, get people engaged, but now because everyone is doing it, it's not as effective and it doesn't convert audiences. And really, what's the point? You telling me wake up and start the day early, I mean, it's not going to fix my problem right now. Okay. So let's stop with the quotes. Obviously, you can still put them, every once in a while. I still post quotes that, just, kind of rock my perspective and really get me excited. Like, for example, procrastination is expecting that, God's going to give you what he gave you today, tomorrow, right? Quotes like this really inspire me and it just jolts me. And I'll share it with my audience if it really moved me into action, moved me into inspirational mode. But again, the quotes don't work. So stop it. If you keep doing it, listen, you will see your social media pages just go. So I'm trying to avoid the confrontation, avoid, the sadness that you will feel after doing it. Just stop. Okay. So the quotes are dead. The second thing that's dead as well is people just promoting multiple flyers promoting sales. Okay. In the past, you could just just shoot out multiple things on on your social media pages, like, oh yeah, guys, I'm launching this. But if people don't see images and photos and videos of you in action to build trust and build rapport, you also going to have people unsubscribing real quick and just not following you on social media. So that is also dead. So stop with the flyer promos. It does not work. The third thing that is also dead that I see a lot of people used to do that does not work anymore is just repurposing people's content. Now, you could curate content and give really in-depth commentary that serves your audience. But I will tell you right now, if you continue to just do things like where you're just simply just repurposing other people's content at scale, it will not work anymore. People want fresh live content. People want to know what makes you unique and why should they tune in to the work that you're doing. So do not do that. So random content no longer works in 2024 and beyond. Stop it. Okay. So what actually does work? Okay. What actually works is actual value. Now, yesterday we talked about creating your value positioning statement, and that service statement pretty much articulates how you provide value to your audience, because today the game has really changed. And this is where I want to get really sincere with you, because this is the reason why you find that a lot of strategies that these gurus are promoted on social media don't work for you by the time you try it, because things are moving very fast, but people are more smart, right? People are more skeptical, and people are able to spot bullshit very, very quickly. So don't give them bullshit, okay? So people want to see that you actually know what you're talking about, that you actually walk the talk. Okay. And the best way to do that is really creating content that serves others. And I'm not saying, oh, I want to create value, because I know everyone's saying that now. It gets on my nerves that people are speaking through their noses, just saying that word and just throwing it out there. When I say create value, right? What I mean by that is that you are showing people, kind of showing off, like how much you love the subject that you prioritize to give value on, and that you really know your stuff. And what does that look like? Remember, I told you, you no longer walk into rooms and just introduce yourself as the CEO of XYZ Corporation. No one cared, right? The old way of just promoting your titles to get prominence and get, feedback from others that's, paramount, doesn't work anymore. Even if you're the CEO of Forbes, it just doesn't work anymore. People want to know, okay, so you're the CEO of this, but what does that do for me, right? People know that people who have titles doesn't mean that they will be valuable to others. To be honest with you, a lot of people are useless now, right? If I'm being completely honest, people have said this before. A lot of people now are overwhelmed, overstretched, don't really have the bandwidth to be very useful. So people are being useless. So if you actually even just tell people that this is how you serve others, people will be more quick to want to work with you, because you're immediately telling people to cut through the noise, cut through the masses, and be able to beeline and just work directly with you, right? So now the old way of introducing ourselves was being, I'm the CEO of XYZ Corporation. Now it's, I'm an entrepreneur who helps others monetize their brand online. This new way is very service centered, right? And what that means is that when you introduce yourself as such, okay, people say, okay, how do you do that? Well, I talk about branding. I talk about public speaking. I talk about, how to write newsletters. I talk about how to create digital content, right? So in order for me to serve that audience and help them monetize their brand online, I have to be doing certain things. And sometimes it could just be you just document how you're doing that for yourself. Before I started launching digital products, I was just documenting to people how I was getting paid speaking engagements, how I was able to, launch my first digital course, how I was able to host webinars, how I was able to launch live events. I mean, this entire series is really me telling you how I do the work that I do and how I was able to succeed with the work that I do, right? So by me giving you behind the scenes of the work that I do, you're able to anticipate more value in the future, because like, oh, look, if she's able to share this window of work that she does behind the scenes to be able to get these speaking engagements, these live, these contracts, these clients, maybe I could do the same by just following her methods, right? And so essentially, you're going to try to create content so people can tune in. And I call it the content TV station. You want to consistently be ready and available to showcase to people your content that serves them. So that way, if I tune into your channel, which is your social media page is now a TV station, by the way. In the world that we're living in, become binge worthy. We are now in the Netflix era. So if you're not binge worthy, where I could go on your social media page and I see tons of video content, webinars, or free things that you're doing, I'm not going to buy from you. Okay, I already told you people are skeptical, people question things, people are smarter, people are looking to compare you to others. So if I go on your social media page right now, what am I going to find? If I don't find at least minimum 7 hours of content in a video format, I'm not going to follow you, right? Because people now build trust through video. Even how you're engaging with me right now, you're seeing my smile, you see my hand motions, you are seeing me in real time engage and add value. Even when this is done and it goes into a recording, if someone goes back on my social media page and click the recording button and see what's there, they will see me talk for hours on length. So if someone wants to sit there over a weekend and say, okay, you know what, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, let's bring it on. I'm going to bring my popcorn. I'm going to watch all the videos about what Christine talked about, monetizing a personal brand. They're able to do that. And at the end of those 7, 8+ hours, they're able to make a decision and say, you know what, she's the one. She knows what she's talking about. I want to work with her, right? You need to be able to be in that mode. So what does someone get by tuning into your channel? Will they be inspired? Will they be informed? Are you always going to show up on time as expected? I host weekly webinars every single week at 11 a.m. Eastern. If I don't show up for a week, I have to literally rebuild that trust within 4 weeks. Just imagine how merciless my community is. And mind you, I consistently give value, but if I miss 1 week, it takes me 3 weeks to correct the mistake of not showing up on time that 1 week. Right? So you want to build trust faster. You want to build credibility faster. You got to create content. And the fastest way to create content is through video. And it's usually just you just coming on the mic and just sharing things. You could ask yourself 10 questions and answer them. You could give people a story of what you've been through, what you've learned, right? Give something that people can make a decision on whether you are the ish that you promote yourself to be, right? So with that said, to create your TV content station, there are 3 decisions that you got to make in order for you to become binge worthy. Okay. First and foremost, you got to make a decision on what format you want to show up as. And there's 3 formats that are dominating the internet right now. So there's written format, video format, and audio format. Now, one thing I will say is that in recent memory, I remember when I first started my website about 15, 17 years ago. When did I launch Benetti? Blogging was the thing. Everyone was reading blogs. Because everyone wanted to read what was on the internet. Now, what I'm seeing is that more and more people are responding more to video and audio. That's why you see so many podcasts are launching and so many YouTube channels and digital courses are being launched. It's not a trend for no reason. It's a trend because it's working, right? So people are busy. People want to see it or people want to hear it. People don't want to read it anymore because it takes more time. And so you got to decide on the format that works best for you. So for me, clearly video is a powerful outlet for me because it's easy for me to show up, go live in camera, and just talk, right? Because everything that I've done, I've learned and executed and experienced. It's just literally, if I didn't have any of this, I could just go on the mic, right? And just do live Q&A for hours, okay? So that format works really well. The second one is you got to make a decision on the frequency that you want to show up. Now, do you want to show up daily? Do you want to show up weekly? Do you want to show up monthly? One thing I will say, you cannot choose to show up quarterly or annually because there's no way you could convert an audience with a quarterly or annual touch point. It just won't work, okay? People need to see you minimum 8 times before they can make a decision. So that's the reason why the more times you show up online, the faster it will take for people to make a decision. This is the reason why on my social media pages, anyone can see hours and hours of content and make a decision. Even though I don't show up daily, I show up on a weekly basis. And so within 7 weeks, people can make a decision, or they could go through all my recording files and make a decision within a week, right? Or some people within a day, if they want to binge through my content and really skim through all the work that I've done, right? And that's amazing. So I always tell people that is the secret. People need to see you a minimum of 8 touch points to make a decision on whether they want to work with you or not. And those frequency could be done in multiple ways. You could launch a podcast, you could do a webinar, you could do a course series, you could launch a book, you could consult, you could coach, you could do an agency, you could do workshops. For me, my daily is really posted on social media updates. My weekly is doing webinars where I teach people like this. My monthly, or I would say my monthly is actually my newsletters that I share really in-depth insights and summaries of what's going on in my life, but also things that I'm learning and provide value to my audience. And every 68 weeks, I host major training camps like this one to serve my audience in a binge-worthy format, because my audience has told me that they love when I show up for 5 days, 7 days, 3 days at a time to really walk them through from start to finish on how to execute on a goal that they want to accomplish. So hence the reason why I'm here today. I'm helping people in the next 5 days be able to launch their personal brand online virtually in 2024. Right. And so I serve my audience in multiple different ways, and how my audience engages with me. They follow me, they comment, they engage, or they pay for my services to take it to the next level. Okay. So that's how I serve my audience, and I serve them very well. Right. So examples of this and what other people are doing. People are hosting webinars, master classes, content series like this one. So I always share with you all the different formats I show up for my audience. And one of the most popular ones that's been really going really well this year is my webinar Wednesday sessions, where I help my community tackle one specific challenge, whether it's, to get a paid speaking engagement, be able to launch a content calendar, even doing annual planning. I help people with planning out their quarterly goals, their life goals, productivity, right? I try to tackle a major thing on those webinars. Okay. So with that said, to take a step back, your value statement is your service statement, what you want to provide to others, right? So people can find you. Your tag words is the visibility market, so how people see you. And how that looks like is my value positioning statement looks like this. I help who to do what because of why. I help entrepreneurs to monetize their brands online so they can live a flexible lifestyle, right? That's my value positioning statement. Anyone who wants in on that, they will find me, they will engage with me, they will work with me, okay? And I display that. This is the reason why today was all about optimizing your social media pages. I display that value positioning statement all over my social media pages, especially my LinkedIn and on my website, okay? The second thing is you want to use the right tag words and phrases. It's kind of like niche words so people can find you. So SEO, people could be able to see you, search for you, and be able to engage with you, right? So usually those are 3 titles. So for me, I have serial entrepreneur, I'm a tech ecosystem leader, and I'm a corporate advisor or corporate trainer, right? So anyone searching for those 3 things, they're able to see my content, see my profile, and see if they want to work with me further, right? And the last thing is really creating that station, that statement where you convert it into content. And I share with you how to create the frequency. Are you going to show up daily, weekly, monthly, right? And what format do you want to do that? Do you want to show up in written, video, or audio format? And for the content calendar piece, you start by thinking about, okay, going back to what I said that, you have these 3 titles. Underneath these 3 titles, you could create content. So as an entrepreneur, what 10 topics can you cover as an entrepreneur? For me, I could talk about how to launch a startup in 30 days, what tools to launch as a startup entrepreneur, how to fundraise, right? How to find your first client, how to close your first deal, how you do your first 6-figure contract, how to scale your audience in 60 days or less, how to be able to launch your first live event, I could go on and on and on, because I've been in business for so long that, throw it at me, especially because I've been very resilient and very savvy at building and scaling my business from scratch. I can share with you even how to raise capital online, how to raise $250,000 through grants and competitions, also how to raise $250,000 through, a crowdfunding campaign. I've done both. Okay. So when you list out these 10 topics, then you pick 3 of them that you could say, okay, I will do 100 different content pieces on this. And those content pieces could be a post. It could be a video of you speaking for 5 minutes. You could be doing an Ask Me Anything session. It could be a webinar. You can map out so much. I can do content for years to come just based on my title and my credibility as an entrepreneur, because I've been through ish. Okay, so I can share that with you in a way that's provocative, insightful, engaging, and powerful. Okay, so that's what you do. So if you go to the workbook, back at it again, where I share with you when you get to the content calendar plan, what I want to highlight for you is the area where you can start brainstorming. Okay. So one thing that I do is I look at other competitors who are doing well with their content strategy, and I write them down. So find at least 3 profiles. You can use me as an example and find out how do they create content and follow their template. Like, what are they doing? So I write that down here. Then I look at the platforms that they're optimizing in. So usually I'll pick the content creator who's optimizing on the platform that I'm trying to optimize more. So I will find, out of the 10 profiles that I'll look for, at least 5 of them should be LinkedIn influencers, right? Because that's where I want to dominate, right? And I also look at what tools are they using. You can easily tell what tools people are using. And sometimes they create and host events where they'll tell you what tools they are using as well. And then I list out my topics, and how I try to create content on those topics in the beginning, if it's hard for you to create content, is I ask myself 10 questions. So as an entrepreneur, what is your advice for entrepreneurs? What tools do you use? Who do you work with? How do you raise your first 10K? How do you launch your first 6-figure launch, right? I share all those questions and I answer those questions. So if I had one question there, I'll answer that question in 10 sentences. And then I'm able to just record myself answering those questions. See, that's an easy hack to create content very quickly. And then on the workbook, I share with you the annual layout. This is exactly how I organize my content on an annual basis, what my daily schedule is, my weekly and my monthly, and I put it on a chart like this. Now, this resource is actually from HubSpot. If you want access to this spreadsheet, just DM content, and I'll be able to DM you the link for you to be able to use this. Okay. But essentially, this is a really great tool because I'm able to color code and pick what content I will post on my social media page, depending on what it is, right? So if you see the color coordination, sometimes I'll post a webinar link, my blog post, maybe a video clip of me, speaking on stage at an event. It could be a product launch. It could be a campaign. It could be a quote about me speaking on stage, something that resonated with the audience. I use a calendar spreadsheet to keep track of the content that I'm putting out to make sure that everyone that I'm serving gets what they need. Right? And I see a lot of you guys are commenting in the comments. Please keep them coming because I'm going to answer those questions immediately at the end of the session. So if you see how I move from a Word document to listen out my content to put it on a calendar schedule. It's very, very simple. And I learned how to recycle that very, very well. So to summarize, Okay. Because we covered a lot, ladies and gentlemen, today, right? And in the Personal Brand Accelerator program, we walk through how to do all of this from scratch so that way you're able to get out there as quickly as possible. So today, we talked about how to optimize your LinkedIn profile or social media page in under 30 minutes or less, right? So for me, I shared with you how to do that through LinkedIn and Facebook. The second thing is we talked about how to turn your value statement, your value positioning statement that we talked about yesterday, and turn that into content creation. Okay, so we talked about how to really create content from your value proposition, taking your who you serve, the niche topics that you address, and the content that you're going to create based on that by asking yourself ideal questions that you can answer for your audience based on your zone of expertise and your experience. Okay, and then we conclude with the content calendar, the resources that you need to be able to do this on a daily, weekly, monthly schedule. Okay. And so with that said, okay, I know you guys are like, whoo, it's a lot because I'm about to go into Q&A right now. Let's talk about tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm going to now that we talked about the content that you're creating, I'm going to help you launch your first or your next digital product that sells on repeat. I am a master at this. I have sold digital products for the past 10 years. And because I love the work that I do, I sell a lot of my digital products live because I love live coaching and engaging with others. And so I will share with you my entire campaign, my entire blueprint strategy, how I do this from scratch tomorrow. This is where we're going to help you sell and make money and monetize your brand automatically, consistently, and sustainably. Okay, so you'll learn how to create a product, frame the product, find leads, and package and go to market. Okay, so that's tomorrow. As we continue down this 5-day series, there's so much more in store because tomorrow I'm going to help you create your first or your next digital product, followed by how to officially live launch. This is probably day 4 is probably going to be the most important day, simply because I'm going to show you how to launch your brand online and how to actually monetize immediately. This is probably the crust of the reason why I call this the personal brand live launch. I'm going to help you live launch your personal brand. And the last day, day 5, it's going to be a powerful day because I'm going to help you leverage the success from launching your personal brand to help you to now turn your personal brand into actual business that gives you at least 6 figures a year. When I first did this, it really just it blew my mind the first time I was able to generate 6 figures from my personal brand. You got to understand, I got multiple businesses, okay? And each business serves my customers with different products and services, right? But to be able to turn my personal brand, my expertise, my experiences, things that I do every day, how I cook, how I serve my community, me being a mother, me being a wife, me being a serial entrepreneur, being a public speaker, turning all that I've experienced in my life and turning that into valuable resources and information and transformational coaching programs for others and monetizing that at 6-figure levels, it blew my mind when I first did this. And now when I try to help other people do the same, I tell them it really starts with you knowing what is the mission of your personal brand. That's the value position statement in a nutshell. What is the mission statement that you have for your personal brand and how do you want to serve your audience? And that is it. Once you answer that question, you are able to serve your audience and grow your audience and build and monetize at scale in a way that you never even expected. Comment live if you're with me and you're hearing what I'm telling you, and let me know if you actually want to monetize your brand. Comment monetize if you want to make money with your personal brand. You want to monetize all the sweat, blood, and tears that you experience building and working and growing and learning in this life, the career that you built. You want to be able to serve that to others and make money doing that. Comment monetize if that's what you want to do, because I'm going to teach you how to do that tomorrow based on the content that we went over today, where I share with you how to create the content that attracts the audience that will become your clients, that will become your partners, that will become your enablers, that will become your community, that will become your partners, right? This is what I want to show you how to do during this 5-day series, right? And so with that said, if today rocked your work, if yesterday and today is really giving you a killer opportunity, I want to now officially share with you the opportunities for me to help you do this from scratch and be able to launch this summer, because I want people to start making money this summer. Okay, I want you to be able to do that this summer. So I'm going to share with you an opportunity to go live with me this summer to see exactly what I'm sharing with you and put it out. Okay, so how does that work? I want you to be able to work with me and join me for the Personal Brand Accelerator Program live. This is not a recording digital course. And here's why. I feel like too many people are launching digital courses, recording them and putting them online and not really serving their audience. I go beyond that. I do this program live, which is why I'm only able to accept a small cohort, so that way I can audit your profile, coach you through adjustments, help you build out your bio, help you build out your profile, help you create your first digital product, help you find your first leads, and really grow and monetize your audience as quickly as possible. So this is going to be live coaching and training. And the best part about this program that I'm doing this year, right? Only once, by the way, I don't do these multiple times a year. I only host these live programs once because I have to get back to my businesses, right? And so I'm also going to help you launch your personal brand. I'm going to help you create the virtual event that you need to launch your personal brand to your community. How's that sound? Comment live launch if you're ready to launch your personal brand and start generating revenue immediately on the fly, right? Comment live launch if you're with me for that, because that's going to be an amazing opportunity for you to actually see exactly what I've been doing for the past couple of years and experience it for yourself. And what I love about this is, like, when I show you how to do this and when you actually do this for the first time, it's going to just, like, you're like, why didn't I know how to do this before? You're going to be angry with yourself, right? Because it's such a simple way, but it's such a powerful way to not only build credibility, build your authority online, but also be able to attract the audience that will want to work with you long term. So I'm happy to officially welcome only you guys who are part of this Personal Brand Live Launch Program. That doors open early bird today for you to be able to join me for the Personal Brand Accelerator Program. Now, let me tell you how this is going to work. This Personal Brand Accelerator Program is a multi-week program. I'm going to go live with you for 4 weeks. During the month of August, we're going to come online twice a week where I'm going to go live and be able to teach you all the fundamentals. And obviously, the first 5 sessions, it's really all about, the fundamentals to help you craft your bio, help you put your positioning statement, help you craft the messaging that you need to build a mission statement, a mission brand that really attracts the right community. And then we're going to go right in. I'm going to show you how to market, how to generate sales, how to create an operating plan. I'm going to show you my spreadsheets. I'm going to take you behind the stage on my dashboard. And I do this. I actually take you behind the scenes and so you can see my dashboard and show you how I monetize and how I manage my brand from a marketing perspective, a sales perspective, and an operating perspective. You will see my exact footprint, how I'm able to do this. Now, I want to make this very practical, right? Because I'm doing this live and I don't want to waste my time. I want to work with people who are ready to launch their brand this year and start monetizing immediately. And so I want to walk you through what's going to happen every single week so you can see the tangible results you are going to experience if you work with me for this live Personal Brand Accelerator Program that I'm hosting next month in August, okay? During the first week, immediately, we're going to work with updating your bio, cultivating your personal brand message, and optimizing your social media profiles, okay? So I'm literally going to audit your profile. We're going to go on your pages, and I'm going to edit and correct your titles, your bios, your positions. We're going to add and adjust. We're going to literally everything that I just showed you how to do today. We're going to do it live and audit and do that with you. I'm not just going to teach you how to do it. I'm not just going to show you how to do it. I will do it with you. Okay, we're going to do it together. So I will show you how to optimize your social media profile. I will also show you how to launch your website. I'm actually a coder, by the way. I'm in the tech field, so obviously I know how to code. And I will teach you how to actually launch your website within 24 hours. You cannot, ladies and gentlemen, you cannot monetize your brand in today's age in the same way that you could have in the past without a website. So I'll show you how to create at least even a basic landing page to really cultivate a personal brand that has the right professional standpoint for people to be able to stop paying you for your services. So that's the end of week 1. By week 2, I'm going to show you how to build your audience. Okay. If you're overwhelmed with content management, I'm going to make it easy for you. You're going to be like, this is so easy, because I produce a lot of content, and literally I binge create my content in one sitting under 3 hours, and I have content for over 90 days. Sometimes I'm able to generate content for 60 days on autopilot that works so tremendously for me and my audience. And it will help you not only not experience burnout, but experiment with the right converting content that will give you leads that will become paid clients. So we'll do your content management strategy, and I will show you how to position your profile to get speaking engagements, because one of the best ways to build your audience is to get on stage. Okay. So I will show you how in one of the sessions, how to get paid for speaking engagements by positioning your personal brand for thought leadership to get out there. And many of you know I've spoken at over 300 different events already in my 10 plus years of being on the speaker circuit. So I will tell you exactly the do's and the don'ts of becoming a paid public speaker in 2024 and beyond. Okay. That's going to happen at the end of week 2. Okay. So by the end of week 2, you're going to start to see some magic happen where people are going to see your brand is adjusting, and they're going to start asking you questions. At that point, we're going to start working on your first digital product. Week 3, we're going to talk about how to create your first digital product so you can launch. And I'm going to share with you how to create a lead generation strategy where you're going to have a minimum of 1,000 leads within 24 hours that you're going to email immediately. This part for always blows people's minds, because people usually don't know how to find 1,000 leads. And I'm not talking about scraping and just finding random people on the internet, people that you know and you can engage that will actually want to hear from you about this digital launch. Okay. So we're going to do that in week 3. I'm not only going to show you how to do that, but we're going to have a start date for you to actually do it and actually launch and engage. Okay. So we'll do that, and then we'll map out your entire product suite for the entire year, because some of you, after you launch your first digital product, you're going to get hooked and realize like, wow, you could really add crazy amount of value in the market. And so I will share with you how to create an entire product suite for the entire year, so that way you can serving your audience over the next 2 to 3 years with that launch. Okay. And last but not least, by the end of week 4, not only are you going to have a full personal brand business plan, right? I'm going to share with you all my productivity and project management secrets so you can grow your personal brand and scale it. I don't want you to have burnout. I want this to be something that creates more flexibility for you. Like I said, I'm a mother of 4. I'm a wife. I have a farm. I run multiple businesses. And the only reason why I have that flexibility is because I'm really, really, really productive and I have strong project management skills. So I will share with you how to scale and automate different parts of your personal brand and actually turn it into a business, right? Where you're going to incorporate, where you're going to actually start generating 6 figures per year purely from your personal brand. And you got to say, how would that feel? Like, tell me, how would that feel where you could know that you're generating 6 figures a year purely from your expertise? So even if your business slows down in sales, even if the job that you're working with, lays you off or has an issue or has a problem, right? You know that just your expertise is still generating revenue. Now, obviously, for some of you, you won't be. Some of you will be doing it, right? But I know at minimum, people are usually launching and getting 10K, 15K, 20K within the first year of working with me with this process, because I show you how to tap in to the audience that you already have. So this personal brand live launch that you're going to do this year is going to change the game for you in your career planning like never before. So all of this is going to happen live with me in 4 weeks. Okay. So with that said, some people are going to get featured in multiple podcasts, and they're going to get interviews, and they're going to get crazy visibility and start generating leads immediately. Some people at the end of this program are going to start closing multiple speaking engagements, and they're going to get in front of our audience and converting people from the stage, right? Some people are going to immediately start generating sales. I've had people make 8K in scales with just 4 clients, charging $2,500 per program with ebook sales and ebook upsells, right? There's so many different outcomes from this, because remember, the Personal Brand Accelerator program is walking through an entire step-by-step footprint on how to monetize your entire personal brand from start to finish in multiple ways. You're leveraging my 11 years of experience of doing this on repeat in 4 weeks. So you don't have to figure it out. I will show you exactly how I got my first paid gig and how I continue to generate more paid engagement. I will teach you how I launched my digital products and how I plan and execute on the campaigns to generate revenue. I will show you how I'm able to monetize through campaigns and brand partnerships. I work with LinkedIn, Facebook, Meta, obviously now Meta, Twitter, IBM, Intuit. I've worked with so many brands, MasterCard, Zoom. I've worked with multiple brands, AT&T, right? So many different brands that I've worked with, and even governments, heads of states. I will show you how just your experience can get you paid in 2024, right? You need to do this because this is something that's so amazing when people are able to see that I've been sitting on a gold mountain this entire time. And to be honest with you, I'll also share with you my vulnerable moments, things that I regret, things that I missed out on that I wish that I did years ago, right? And because I didn't know how to do it, hopefully you can leverage and learn from my mistakes, my shortcomings, but also all my successes, right? So you don't have to do everything from scratch. I'm going to give you the shortcut by showing you exactly how I've done the things that I've done. And one of my favorite parts of the accelerator program is really the conversations we're going to have, because some of you are coming from different backgrounds. Some of you are parents and trying to get flexibility. Some of you are like, look, like I'm transitioning jobs right now and I'm trying to get more opportunities. You know, some of you are just trying to like have more stability. Maybe you're trying to move to a new country. There's so many reasons why people need to monetize their personal brand. And also, I want to hear your journey, your story. What are you struggling with right now? And what experience have you cultivated that we can convert into opportunities, right? These are the things I want to talk to you about during this accelerator program. This is the reason why it has to be a small cohort and a live cohort for me to be able to not only answer all your questions, address all of your personal individual challenges, but also give you a blueprint to walk you through exactly the process that will work for you. Because I know everyone could leverage the same strategy, but the application of that strategy might be different for different people on the call, right? So if you are someone who wants to learn from me directly on how to do that, look, I've been doing it for years. Like I said, I got the receipts and the proof to show you. I've generated millions from doing this on a regular basis. And you guys, if you watch me for the past couple of years, you've seen me go live, you see me engage, you see me work with big brands and launch and monetize my brand in multiple ways, right? So obviously you'll be able to get live coaching from me directly. The team will also support. You obviously get access to recordings from live for live. So even if you miss a session, you'll get the recordings. But I probably will still follow up with you live because I do like the live element. I really love doing that live. You obviously get the mastermind community access where people are going to be supporting you along the way. And also, I love giving people templates so you can plug and play. So if you need to be able to audit, your profile, help you be able to audit your profile. And I'm going to be auditing your profiles, by the way, live during the sessions. I will help you use my planners to be able to create content at scale. I will help you with checklists so that way you know that you're always on point with your personal brand on a continuous basis. And also, I always tell people there's a personal brand evolution, right? At different stages of your career, there's certain things that you want to accomplish, like, being able to launch a book, being able to launch a course, be able to launch a podcast, be able to grow your brand in different countries, be able to launch a retreat, be able to launch a conference, right? There's different stages of personal branding that monetize at scale. And I want to share with you the checklist and the milestones that you could experience not only just in this year, but beyond this year. So you have something to look forward to grow your personal brand and monetize your brand at higher levels as you start to grow, right? So if you are ready to make this happen, I welcome you to check the link on the chat, and I'm opening up this opportunity because I want you to see what would happen if you launched your personal brand this year with me. So much can happen for you. And so as I summarize, again, you're going to get the live coaching training sessions with me twice a week. So I'll be coming up live, talking to you and training you and coaching you through the process. We do live audits. I will share with you my recordings, my templates, my resources, my spreadsheets, everything so you can implement what I'm teaching you live easily. And then I'm going to help you launch your brand. This is probably the big kahuna. I don't know anyone on the internet is helping people with this, but I'm going to walk you through the event management plan for you to launch your personal brand virtually live and start converting your audience and generating income quickly. I will show you how to launch. This is the first time, by the way, I'm teaching people the secrets of how to launch their personal brand to monetize in a short time period. Prior to this, a lot of people, when I show them how to do this, usually it take like maybe several weeks to be able to monetize and grow their audience incrementally. I will show you the shortcut to be able to do this within weeks. Sometimes within 1 week, people are able to monetize immediately on their personal brand live launch. So we'll select a date for you to go live, preferably within the program series. So all of this is obviously valued at $11,900 because you're spending time where I'm doing live consulting sessions, right? Consulting sessions with me are very, very expensive, especially considering that I don't do live coaching sessions anymore, only within my programs and twice a year. Second, you'll get all my templates and spreadsheets and all the work to be able to get live and make it easy for you to launch your brand this year. But for those of you who are here with me today, keep in mind that when I go live to the public, the price for this entire 4-week program live with all the resources is $2,497. This is the price, okay? But because you guys decided to join me for this live series, and what I like is that many of you are learning so much from this 5-day series. Many of you could be able to go to work and launch your brand just from this series alone. But for those of you who want more help to really customize and do this immediately so you can start generating sales quickly, what I like is that because you've been through this bootcamp series, I've taught you so much to prepare you that I want to give you a better price where even if you just wanted the recordings for the program where you didn't want to go live, it would be $1,497. However, for those of you who are part of this program, for this 5-day personal brand live launch series, you have the opportunity today to be able to access this live program that I'm doing, plus the recordings, plus the launch support for me to launch your personal brand live for only $997. And this, when I go to the public, will not be available. And I'm only making this available for the next 24 hours because I can only accept a certain number of people at this price point before I had to bring it back to the right public price. Okay? You gotta imagine how crazy this is. And the link is in the chat for you to be able to join and get access to this opportunity because it will go off within 24 hours. And yes, you will come to the landing page and it will be gone. I'm very serious about that, okay? And part of the reason why I'm doing this is because, again, I know some of you can be able to generate that very quickly when you go live on your personal brand launch, right? Because I will share with you how to generate and create digital products within minutes that could get you to that point. Keep in mind, one thing that I love, for those of you who've never launched your personal brand before, the reason why you're going to have a really, really good momentum with this launch is because you have something called the first time luck, right? Where because it's your first time going live to your audience, a lot of people will be intrigued and more forgiving of working with you for the first time because they know that because it's going to be your first time launching, whatever value proposition you offer them is going to be the best of the best. And people know this because even for me, this is my first time launching this program in this way. That's the only reason why you're getting this deal. Right? I know that, for example, that because I'm going to put so much time and energy into this, that you're only going to get this. I'm hearing some reports. Everyone's able to see me live. I know I think the Wi-Fi just cut out for a second. So I want to make sure that you guys understand the amazing opportunity that you're getting to join me live at this rate for the next 24 hours only. Okay. So for the next 24 hours, you have access to this. So I'm just let me know in the DM if you guys are ready for this, because like I said, live coaching, again, everyone on the internet is doing recordings. I'm coming with you live. Okay. For 4 weeks. If you know that these couple of days have been crazy insightful, imagine what several weeks is going to look like, where I'm going to come on live to coach you to make sure that you go live in a way that's extremely, extremely life-changing for you. Okay, this offer obviously closes in the next 24 hours. So you're welcome to click on the link below to get access to this. And now, some of you guys, I know some of you guys are booking immediately because you don't want to lose out on this offer. I want to be able to answer some of your questions. So if you guys have questions from today's session or any questions about the program, feel free to send it on the chat because I'm going to go live on this now to be able to engage with you. So thank you so much, guys. I'm getting a lot of great feedback from many of you who really enjoy this, right? So let's start with the questions. So with that said, as some of you guys are going on the chat, going on the DM, and really booking to join me live for this multi-week personal branding program, I see a question here. How many hits in LinkedIn do you have per day, per week? What is a good goal to reach? So this is a great question. So this is a question regarding the metrics. What are my metrics and how do I know what goals to set? So one thing I would say is I get on average probably a good like 10,005. The lowest I've seen was 7,009 in terms of live views on my profile, and I usually convert a good 50 leads per day on my LinkedIn profile. But I would say that, to be honest with you, I was converting people on my LinkedIn in the early days when I had just less than 1,000 people. So it's not really about the view count because you want to have the right people coming on your profile. What you should be aiming for is that for the people that come on, how many people are actually converting, right? So view count and people are not converting and doing anything with your LinkedIn page, something's not working. Maybe you don't have a booking landing page. Maybe you don't have a call to action. You got to make it very clear that people should do something when they come on your page, right? And so I know it sounds very obvious, but a lot of people, they have all their credibility featured on LinkedIn, but you don't showcase what they should do with that credibility. So for me, my call to action is book to speak. What to do. Okay. So make sure that you do that so that way people know what they're in for and why they should be able to work with you. It's something that's very, very important. So great question on that. How many hits per week? Right. Someone asked, how are you able to scale and monetize your brand very quickly to hit 6 figures? So the 6-figure launch essentially means, if you look at the numbers, right, you have expertise, right? People can either, sign up to get live coaching with you. People can either, do a live lunch. I mean, even my products on average at 2005, I have products that cost 5,000 for retreats. It's a numbers game, right? So if you have 10 people come on a retreat that you're charging, let's say 5K, which is one that I'm doing this fall, I'm doing a retreat at 5K, right? If 10 people come on, right, I pretty much already have 50K. So I already have half of my 6 figures just with 10 people coming on to be with me for a week for a retreat, right? And I've done this multiple times a year, right? So right then there, halfway through, just with 10 clients come with me on a retreat, I already got 50K. The other 50K could be a diversity of speaking engagements where I could get 2K for one engagement, 3K here, 5K here. Some of my speaking engagements, I get 15K, 20K a pop, right? So even just 5 speaking engagements at that rate, you're already at 25K and above. And then you have a digital product where you host and coach a live audience for several weeks. You really commit to them. You really support them. You help them grow. You help them evolve. You really walk them through the journey of what you've been through and teach them how to actually execute. And you charge, let's say, $2,005 a person, and you get, let's say, 10 people to do that, right? I'm using small, easy numbers that you could think of that you could do, and you're at 25K and above from there. At that point, you have the 6 figures, right? Just by doing 3 things: a retreat, a live coaching program in 1 year, right? And third, positioning yourself for speaking engagements. I've seen people do 6 figures just purely through a retreat. I could just say, look, I just want 20 people to come to my retreat. I'm done. I'm not doing anything, right? There's so much flexibility on how to monetize your brand in a year. And this is the reason why when you're generating content and value throughout the year, people see you, people hear you, and people want to work with you because the content that you're putting out is very valuable. So people want to work with you. So that's how you do it. So great question. I know sometimes for people who've never done it before, it's hard to wrap your mind around how that is possible, but it's very possible. And it's possible for anyone, because the thing is, one way or another, let me say this, you will get some type of booking if you reach out to even 100 people just once. Guaranteed, it will work, right? It's all about crafting the right product that serves the right audience at the right time, and I will show you how to do that. But hands down, Any person that I've taught this method, they've been able to do it. It's very easy to do. It just takes discipline and effort, and you actually showcasing the value proposition that you have. Now, I know we're over time, but I just wanted to be able to address all the questions that people have to add that value in the end, because I know many of you have live questions and challenges you want me to address. So I'll be on for the next 5 minutes. If you need to log off, feel free to hop off. Thank you so much for joining. Definitely book to join the Personal Brand Accelerator program. But if you have time, give me 6 more minutes on the clock to be able to answer some of these questions in the live feed. Thank you so much for that question. And so someone made an interesting comment. People have become products, so value has to become relative. So no, people have not become products. People have created products, right? And those products have to become value. You are the package. You're not the product. Let me be very, very clear. You are the package. So for those of you on the call who are like, look, I don't think this is going to work for me. This is the reason why it's going to work for you, because you got 10 different people selling, let's say, a digital course on how to launch a business, but people pick the package that resonates with them. So some people might want to work with me instead of someone else, because maybe because of my accent, maybe because of my background, maybe because of my bravado, they feel like, okay, you fit not only the persona that I want to resonate and work with, but maybe your experience, your unique experience that speaks to my experience. So I want to work with you specifically. So I am essentially a package. What makes now the product that I create more valuable than the other products that people are doing? Because most people select me based on the packaging, right? As an individual, my persona, my bravado, everything about my character. My product that creates the value proposition is my energy, my effort, my commitment. So this is the reason why people work with me personally, because they know that my signature programs, I do them live. I don't just send out recordings. I do them live. That means that my product is ultimately already 10 times more superior than what's on the market and what's out there, because I'm coaching. I'm doing Q&A. I'm putting myself out there. I'm literally, there's no question you can ask me that I won't be able to answer. And that showcases that I'm an authority on the subject, because I am comfortable in any setting, which means coaching live is important for me to do, right? And I love doing it. I love coaching. I love helping people get from point A to point B and seeing that transformation happen, right? And so with that said, people are not the products. People are the packages. The product you create becomes superior when you are able to stand out and do more for others in a way that fits your persona and your credibility and your character. Okay? So great question. Another question someone just asked, how does one get paid sponsors? So this is a great one. So in order to get paid sponsors, right, you got to have an actual community. This is why I said you need an email list, right? So I have done paid sponsors for live events where they sponsor an event, right? 6 figures, 5 figures, 4 figures. People have sponsored events with me. I've got paid sponsors where I say like, hey, I'm doing a program. Do you want to, go live? I've had people sponsor to, be featured on a webinar, on a podcast, on a program, right? There's multiple ways to get sponsors, but the formula to really getting sponsors is like this. Create a community that you could say that you are engaging on a consistent basis, weekly, monthly, quarterly. It has to be some type of consistency, okay? So let's say you have a community of 1,000 people that you created, okay? You tell a sponsor, hey, this community that I cultivated, I'm doing 3 things that you could tap into to sponsor. I'm hosting an event in 3 months. Do you want to sponsor it? I am doing a program. Do you want to get featured? Because maybe they can use your tools. Or I am doing a series of weekly webinars. Do you want to sponsor the series and get featured 8 times in the next 3 months, right? Those are 3 immediate ways to get sponsors for your content and for the work that you do. But it all starts with creating an audience. And what a lot of people get tripped on is that a lot of people don't have an audience to monetize. So sponsors are not going to come to you if you don't have an audience that you cultivate. It's just impossible. Why would they? What are they promoting? What are they sharing? And keep in mind, you want to work with sponsors that align with your values and the value proposition that you bring. So for example, if I'm hosting a program, I will work with platforms like Kajabi, or which I worked with in sponsorships before, Zoom, LinkedIn, because I use these platforms. I work with these entities. So me promoting any of the software or resources that they have to offer to my audience, it's great because it already serves me. So I know that I'm serving something to my audience that will serve them well because I've experienced it, right? And so hopefully that answers your question, because this is something that for sponsorships, a lot of people chase. But one thing that I shared during the Personal Brand Accelerator program is how to monetize at least through 5 different channels of monetization. So you're not dependent on just sponsors. You're also monetizing in multiple ways throughout the year. This is how we guarantee that you hit 6 figures by the end of the year. Okay. So with that said, those are all the questions I see on the chat. So I'm going to conclude and just say, hey, this is your opportunity, like I said, to join me for the Personal Brand Accelerator program. I'm giving this opportunity to join only within the next 24 hours at this rate. So feel free to join in. DM me if you have more questions about the program. This program, again, it's live. I'm going to be with you. And I'm looking forward to seeing all of you for the program as we launch your personal brands this summer. And same time, same place tomorrow. I'm looking forward to seeing all of you for the Personal Brand Live Launch Lab. Thank you so much for joining me today. Bye-bye.